I will tell you that Maya Malay will come up and lead this. She is a plaintiff in the lawsuit, and she kind of shares the philosophy that I admire so much in someone like Tuvia Bielski. Anyone ever hear of Tuvia Bielski? Tuvia Bielski was living out in Belarus when communities were being wiped out, and there was very little communication. He was one of the first to recognize this is going on. So he went to his village and he said, "You got to get the heck out of here, fight back." And they said, we don't believe you. Nobody would be that vicious and cruel that they're going to wipe out a whole village. You're crazy. And he convinced some people, including his brothers. Together they fought back. And they not only saved themselves, they saved many people. They were partisan fighters with nothing but their wits and their courage. They went out and they actually executed some of the Nazis and the collaborators. They saved a lot of people, and they were incredible. Well, Tuvia Bielski, his motto was, "Freedom begins with an act of defiance." And someone who exemplifies that motto is Maya Malay. I'm glad to call her up on this anniversary, of the demise of Roe v. Wade, the yahrzeit of Roe v. Wade. Come on up, share any observations you like about that situation or anything else as you lead us in silent meditation.
Thank you, Rabbi. Thank you, and wonderful to be here. I must say, as a Buddhist, we may have meditation down, but we don't have near the fun that you all do. I love it. Anyway, thank you for being here. I am one of the plaintiffs, and I've looked at this from a number of perspectives, as well as other social and political issues that are at hand these days. And a lot from the Buddhist perspective, we consider a broader view instead of the one issue that may be addressed in terms of how does this impact others? What's the ripple effect? How many other privileges and rights will be withdrawn, and who's determining that? So it's a wonderful thing when we start to consider, as Rabbi has said today, to love all beings and to think of all beings and not just set about, as many of our politicians do, their own personal agenda according to their limited beliefs and or their need for power or control. And so often in Buddhism, we really consider how to be loving even in the face of opposition, because we don't want to take ourselves out of a loving place, which doesn't mean we become disempowered or doormats. It actually strengthens us to be more clear and more objective. So with tonight's meditation, because meditation leads us to many things, the practice we'll do tonight is called shamatha, and that translates to calm, abiding, or dwelling in tranquility. And one of the first things shamatha does for us, it allows us to train our mind to go where we want it to go instead of our usual habitual tendency, which is to be carried off with it. We learn in Buddhism, as well as psychology, our thoughts make our feelings, make our perceptions and our behaviors. And most of our thoughts are subconscious. So meditation allows us to center and get quiet enough that we start to see what those thoughts are much more clearly and the influence they have over our emotions and our perspectives. So one of the first things we do with shamatha is train the mind. We put it where we want it to go. And then what will happen? It'll run off to a thought, what you have to do on the way home or tomorrow, or who said what to you earlier today, or whatever it is. And then we gently steer it back through the focal point of using our breath as a place of centering our attention and awareness, and also a gentle mantra. You may choose to use a mantra from your tradition, maybe shalom, and we rest the mind gently and steadily on those two points, and we call them objects of meditation. When mind wanders, we gently call the attention back as we allow a sense of peace to emerge, which naturally occurs. So with that, let's go into our meditation. Part of our practice is we don't get disturbed by externals. So we can think maybe that's our dear child we haven't heard from in 2 weeks calling. And so we'll be happy that that call's coming in. So thank you. Let's go into our meditation here this evening. Thank you again. So a little stretch to the body, as that creates a more friendly state for our body to feel comfortable as sometimes when we get still, we'll notice a little restlessness. And then a gentle downward eye gaze, 1.5 feet or 2 feet in front. This allows the mind to start settling the discursive thought process. As you feel ready, allowing your eyes to gently close and starting to rest your attention on your breathing, your normal breathing rhythm, as you notice the coolness of the air as it enters the nostrils, the warmth of the air with the exhale, how the chest rises and falls with each inhale and each exhale. And noticing particularly the point right at the end of the exhale, just before the inhale, and using that point to feel even more still, calm, quiet, and relaxed. Gently introducing the mantra or a sacred word, and offering to the mind in a gentle and soft way of focusing attention towards the breathing and the mantra. Perhaps we use Shalom tonight. If mind wanders, simply notice that, labeling it distraction or thinking, and gently steering the attention back to the breath and the mantra as we allow mind to get more quiet, and thus we become more peaceful. And gently and easily, a nice full breath, and a relaxing with the exhale as we see the ease that the mind and breath can create in the body, balance in the emotions, and peace in the mind. And with a feeling of gratitude, and with the aspiration to become the most loving beings we can possibly be. We conclude tonight's meditation with that feeling of peace and the abiding quality of meditation that we carry with us beyond this moment, beyond this evening, for however long we choose. And then gently and easily, and as you feel ready, opening the eyes and bringing the attention back into the room. Good. So sometimes silence can feel a little uncomfortable, and this is often a place where we get to see our discursive thinking and the restlessness. Maybe even tonight you saw the commentary. This is boring. Am I doing this right? I don't know about this stuff. And again, how the mind will operate us sometimes. And so it begins to produce the ability to really be in charge of our mind. We call it our mind, but more often than not, it's running us versus the other way around. So even this short practice has great benefit. And as we said, an abiding quality that when done over and over again, even in short intervals, starts to sustain naturally, as it is a reflection of our own true nature, which is peace, which is love, and which is strength. So thank you so much for having me here this evening, and many blessings to you all. Happy summertime, and have a beautiful weekend.